Lovers, your girl Czarina, welcome to my channel. Today I'm making a tutorial on how to calculate your own soap recipe. Well, this video is long overdue. It was supposed to be a video for last year. I'm sorry it's coming now, and that's because I was looking for the best medium to pass or disseminate this information. Well, let's get started. Let's get into this tutorial properly. When you want to make your own soap, one thing that will strike your mind is, what quantity do I want to make? How much soap do I want to make? That has to do with your oil badge, and that's the first thing on the list here. That's first thing on the list here. We have our oil badge at 1,000 gram. So we're making a 1,000 gram oil badge of a soap. The second thing that wants to flash across the mind is, how strong do I want my soap to look? What is the outcome? How do I want my soap to come out? And that has to do with the amount of water and the amount of lye that goes into that recipe. Now, in this recipe here, I've written lye concentration at 40%. And some of you will be like, what is lye concentration? How do I know the concentration to use for a particular soap? Well, I will quickly explain to you what lye concentration is, and that takes us to the next page. Now, we have lye concentration from low water to medium water to high water concentration. What does this mean? If you want to dissolve lye needs at least equal amount of lye itself to dissolve it. Am I making sense? I mean, if you're dissolving a 50 grams of lye, as in caustic soda, you need at least equal amount of that lye in water to dissolve it. That's 50% of lye, 50% of water. That's what it means. At least equal amount of water to the lye you want to dissolve. Now we have low water lye concentration here, which is at 50%. And over here, you see we are rating 50% of lye concentration to 50% of water. Here, that is low water lye concentration, everything happens super fast. If you're making a cold processed soap, if you're not very fast with your formulation, as in with your mixing, you tend to have a trace very fast. For the medium water, for the medium lye concentration or medium water, you have 33%. That 33% means you need 33% of lye to 67% of water. Here it's in the middle. Anything between 33 to 42, it's super safe for me. That's what I like to roll with, because then you don't have too much lye and you don't have too much water, and everything is just okay. And any formulation with this lye concentration, will suit every skin. Unlike the low water concentration, where you have very little water in your formulation. Some soap with this formulation could actually not work for some skin. Then you have soaps that are very abrasive on the skin. Now the third stage is the high water lye concentration, which is at 25%. So if you measure your lye at 25%, that means you have 25% of your lye and 75% of water. What this means is you have more water in this solution and in this formulation, and for this kind of soap, when your soap goes through curing process, you tend to lose the initial size of that soap, because there will be a lot of shrinkage, because evaporation will take place, and the water, it will lose water, and you will lose the size, the initial size of the soap. So you can see the reason why I say I like to stay in the middle. So this is what light concentration is, or how you can calculate your, or how you can pick the concentration you want for your soap. So let's go back to the main, the initial note. In this recipe, I've chosen to use my light. I chose light concentration to be at 40%. The third on the list is the super fats. Super fat is at 4%. What is super fat? Super fat is that extra oil that goes into your formulation that doesn't go through saponification process. Just that extra oil in the recipe that doesn't turn to soap is there. And what does this do to your formulation? I would say it has two advantages to me. The first one is that extra oil helps to condition your skin. You will see some soaps that when you use them and you come out of the bathroom, you just have this feel, this extra oil on your skin that helps to moisturize your skin. And the second advantage that it does to a formulation is it serves as a safety buffer. It serves as a safety buffer. And, sometimes when you're trying to measure out your lye, you could have extra amount of lye mistakenly fall into the measurement. This will just help you to salvage that situation. That's what super fat stands for. Now we have our lye. Now we have our lye here where we put question mark. We're yet to ascertain the amount of lye that goes to this recipe and the amount of water that we need to go into this recipe. This is what the soap calc will help us to calculate. So what I do is I write down my soap recipes first. I've chosen to use these oils. I chose olive oil, coconut oil, castor oil, and cocoa butter. And I've written them in, I wrote them out in percentage, which sums up to 100%. So when we go to the internet and we impute all of this, where you will choose if you want to calculate your soap in grams, or you want to calculate it in pounds, or you want to calculate it in ounces, that will help to convert all this and you get the accurate measurements. And then we'll be able to know exactly the amount of lye and the amount of water we need for this recipe. I hope this is clear. Well, I'll be leaving my number under the description box. If you have questions to this recipe, feel free to contact me and I'll put you through. Okay, I'm making this video practically for someone who had difficulty making her own soap. Now, sometime maybe this month or in March, I'm not precise because I have detailed things that I've written down, I should make a soap showing you how to add whitening additives to your soap recipe. So right now let's go to the internet and I'll show you how to calculate this soap recipe. So what you want to do is to go to Google and type in soap calc. And it takes you right there where it says soapcalc.net. You want to click on that. And here's what the page looks like. And you just want to concern yourself about the numbers here, number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the number 1 tells us the type of lye you're going to choose for your recipe. And for this recipe that we're calculating, we're using sodium hydroxide, which has already been ticked here, so we don't bother ourselves with that. So we come here to the weight of oils. So we are dealing in grams, so you want to click grams. And the weight of the oil that we're calculating for this recipe it's 1000 grams, right? So you just type in your 1000 grams, and you move next to your water section, where it's where you impute your lye concentration. So we're checking about lye concentration here, and our lye concentration for this recipe is set to be at 40%. And so we move to number 4 here, where it says super fat, and for this recipe that we've chosen, we put our super fat at 4%, is it? So and for this recipe I didn't add any fragrance. So if you decide to add fragrance to your recipe, you could also calculate that out and impute it in this soap pack. So the next thing you want to do is to go through your oils. You don't want to bother yourself with this section that says soap qualities and fatty acid. If you'll be adding other acids to your soap, then you want to make use of this section. But for this simple or basic recipe, you don't have to bother yourself about all this section. So you just want to ignore it and go to your oils and select the oils that we'll be using for this recipe, which is olive oil, coconut oil, castor oil, and the rest. So you just want to check for olive oil. Olive oil, and here's it. And you just and you come here, you click add, and it's here, and you want to impute the percentage for olive oil, which is 80%. And the next one, it's coconut oil, and basically we have two melting degrees here for coconut oil, and I love to use the one that melts at 76 degrees, which is always very suitable for making your soup. So, and that is at 10%. I'm gonna put that in and look for castor oil. Castor shouldn't be far. Yes, this castor oil. I'm gonna click castor oil and just add it, and add up the percentage is at 5%. And the last is cocoa butter, and you want to add and impute in 5%. So if peradventure you just input something that it's not right, you just click on it and you remove. So when you're done doing all this, then you come to this section where it says calculate your recipe, and you click calculate, and immediately it gives you the total. You say it sums everything up for you, and you have we have the percentage summed at 100, and it gives you the gram of the oil, which is 1000 grams. So the next thing you want to do at this process is to just view your calculated recipe, and yeah, the little jetta that I showed you, we didn't know the amount of lye and the amount of water that goes into the recipe. So this is what the soap calc helps you to ascertain. It gives you exact amount of water that goes into your recipe and exact amount of lye to go into your recipe. And basically what I do is to deal with I do with the whole numbers and forget about the decimal point. So, and now, like I said before, that your super fat that we calculated at 4% is that extra oil that does not go through saponification process. While you're trying to measure your lye, sometimes you could have more lye going to your recipe, and This will serve as a safety buffer to help you. This will help guide you not to have too much lye into your recipe. So basically, this is how you calculate your soup recipe. If you guys find this video helpful, kindly share my video, subscribe to my channel, guys. It's free. This is how to support your girl to upload more videos. So until my next video, guys, keep that like, and I'll see you guys. Bye bye.